Hello everyone, this is Jashan and I'm back with another one of the important cue cards that we have. Now today's cue card is about talk about an interesting conversation. Now in today's cue card you have to mention a conversation which was quite interesting and you have to cover the questions which are who is this person. Now obviously when you will form a conversation it will be with the person. So in the first question we will answer the first question, that is identification of the person, how you met him. Now obviously when you have established a conversation you will be in a certain scenario or a certain situation in which you will have to talk with the person. So in the second question you have to tell the person how you landed in that scenario. For the third question, that states explain why he is interesting. Now obviously when you're talking to someone, either the person or the topic that you're talking about will be something that will have your interest in it. Now for the third question, you have to explain, you have to justify why the conversation was so interesting. Now when we look at the questions, question 1 is identification of the person. Now in this type of question you can come up with any person. It can be a stranger, it can be your friend, it can be one of your family members, anyone. Second is how you met him. Now in this you will have to talk about an incident, you will have to establish the scenario which landed both of you together, and obviously you have to explain the conversation and justify why it was quite interesting for you. Now in order to understand this question's tackling, I have prepared a sample answer for you today. Now whenever you are preparing, try that you are putting the topic in the core, so you time and again are able to look at this or these couple of words and know what you're talking about. Now chances are that if you have this type of cue card, a lot of times what happens, we focus only on this word, that is conversation. Many times we forget that it needs to be interesting. So for this, try that you are writing both of these words in the core of your spider diagram that you will be making. Now interesting and conversation, so that is a chit chat or a gossip session that you had. Before coming on and before answering these questions, you have to make sure that you are opening your speaking. Now you have to establish, you have to talk about any one of the keywords that you can pick out of the topic. Today's topic has this word, that is conversation. Now before telling someone that I instantly started talking to someone, I have to open the topic. So for this you can talk about that in your daily routine or in your daily life you have a lot of conversations that are established, you conversate with a lot of people which are quite enjoyable, you cherish the conversations, you cherish the talks that you have with the people. This will open up your idea, so the person knows that now you are going to talk about a conversation that you had or chit chat sessions. Second line should be point connection. Now obviously you have pointed out, you have started telling the person that you were talking to the person. How did you land yourself into that situation? Now that point connection will say that few conversations out of them have been quite fascinating or interesting for me, but the one such conversation that I remember took place a couple of months ago. So from this line you have moved from the point opening to actually answering your first question. Now answering first question, you can say that while traveling in a public transport, your passenger seat which was next to you was occupied by so and so person. Now the point is that because the questions are in so forth order, first is identification of the person, then how you landed yourself into that situation, it's better you move in the same series. So first I have talked about the person, I have told the person, I have told the examiner the person's name. After that you will tell the person how did you land yourself into that situation. Now obviously you shared a seat, but how did you start the conversation? For that you can say that because we both were going to the same destination, we started talking at this topic, or we started having a minute little conversation which converted into an insightful or a meaningfully long conversation. Now from this point the person will know that because you had a starting point, it led to the other topics of conversation, which were, now in this you will justify third question's answer. I have told the person the name, here was the name. How did I meet the person? Because he or she was sitting just right besides me. And why did we start talking? What was the first topic that we started talking about? Why was this thing interesting? Now for this I have given you two options. The point is you have to make that conversation interesting. For that you can pick out any random topic. Either the person was a retired brigadier. So obviously when people come from army background, they have a lot of stories, especially the unsung war heroes. So you can say that he was an unsung war hero. Now unsung war heroes are the one who take part in some wars, who take part in any of the fights, but the things that they have done, the things that they have established, they are not being recognized publicly. He had served in the Sikh regiment, he had served in any of the fights that you remember you can talk about, and he also had a lot of heroic war stories to tell me. Now once you will be mentioning this, obviously the examiner is going to be quite intrigued by the facts that you will be giving, and he will know why that conversation turned out to be so interesting. Or you can also replace the person with a psychologist. Now when we come up with the word psychologist, there goes that ringing bell in your minds that's saying, okay, the person is going to read our minds. But no, psychologist is a person who studies the mental health and the mental functioning of people. So they basically study the brain or the mind, we can say. Now when I met that psychologist, you have to name them. He can be a person, he can be like a male or a female person. That psychologist and me, we started talking about the happiness pursuits that people have. Now, why do people run after happiness? Why do people run after money? Why do people have a particular way of living life? Or the psychologist also told me the art of living. Now, when you will be talking about these topics, either the war heroes, unsung contributions, achievements, whatever, or the psychologist's insightful information in a very detailed manner about anything that we struggle with in our daily lives. You have to make sure that you are picking a topic that you have information about. Now for example, I have zero idea about army background. It's better I avoid this because then I will have less data. Try to make up a person's profession based on the interesting topic that you know about, right? Just make a person out of it and then explain their conversations accordingly. Now in here, I have answered third question and I have justified it very clearly. I have to close my point as well, because if I'm opening it, it is always better to close your conversation as well. I have covered all the questions, my data is done with, I have to close it as well. Now in the closing line, you can say that the person, so forth, whoever the person that you chose to talk about, had vast knowledge, they had a valuable source of information, or the person ignited my curiosity and we both are still in touch. Anyhow, you can just close the point on any basis. You can also put in your suggestions that I wish I bump into more people like Mr. or Mrs. XYZ, whichever name that you have chosen to talk about. So make sure that whenever you're speaking, don't stick to one point and don't go and repeat the point over and over again. Bring in more different types or sides of the stories that you're bringing, and please make sure to open and to close your point along with answering all the questions in a justified manner. Alright, so now that we are done with our cue card, let's look at some of the follow-up questions. Now just keep one thing in mind, that generally after your cue card, the follow-up questions will be third person based. So the first question that we have is, what is the difference between conversation and a debate? Now when you have these type of questions, you have to make sure that you are bringing in a point of separation between the two topics. So let's look at the question's answer. The point of dissimilarity between a conversation and a debate is that conversation is simply telling or portraying your thoughts, opinions or views, whereas debate on the other hand is imposing them and justifying your point of view on the other hand, or simultaneously questioning the views of the other person. Now obviously when you're debating, you have to make the other person feel that their opinions are not really strong. Or maybe you have to oppose the other person's opinions, stating that yes, my opinion is strong enough. Whereas on the other hand, conversation is simply that two people are conversing on a same topic and they're sharing their ideas and opinions. They're not really pinpointing on the other person's opinions. So that is going to be the point of differentiation. Looking at the second question, it reads, which is better, telephonic conversation or face-to-face conversation? Now then again, for these type of questions, you can pick in any point which you feel comes for the differentiation between them. You can say that I believe that talks established over phones are better because they save the physical effort. You do not have to go and meet the person, and they are also quicker and short in time. Now obviously if I have to make a conversation with a person, I will just pick up my phone, I'm going to ring the person, and I will have to establish a conversation with him or her. Whereas on the other hand, in face-to-face, obviously I'll have to go there and so forth. On the other hand, face-to-face conversation or exchange of ideas is better because it brings transparency. Now obviously I have in front of me a person standing with whom I'm having conversation. I'm able to know their emotions. I know what they're feeling, right? Whereas on the phone, I'm not knowing their facial expressions, which depicts clarity and brings in the personal touch. Obviously you're on the phone, you cannot see the person, you cannot physically have the person in front of you, which lacks the personal touch. Now this personal touch is available when you're having face-to-face talks with a person, and obviously it's way more serious, and also it brings in the secrecy level. Now you're talking to the person, your conversations are not getting recorded, whereas on the telephone, yes, your conversations can be recorded, the person can put you on speaker and so forth. So that is the point of differentiation. You can pick out any other points of differentiation which you know of as well. Everything is fine as long as it justifies. Third question is, should we listen to the conversation of others or not? Now these type of questions, specifically this questions is based on your ethics. Now obviously when it comes to overhearing somebody's conversation, we try not to do that. So try to say that eavesdropping. Now this word here, eavesdropping, itself means that you're overhearing somebody's conversation but you're not telling the person. You do not have the person's permission. Along with that, the person does not know that you're listening to him or her talking to the other person. Now eavesdropping should be prohibited, or you can say prohibited at all times, because it invades the privacy or the privacy of the people. Why? Because it is done without the consent or the knowledge of the person, and obviously it being a punishable offense should not be committed. Now when it comes to this word, that is punishable offense, you can say that eavesdropping or overhearing somebody's conversation is a punishable offense in my country or in other nations as well. So that is how you will sum up your answer along with the justification. Coming on to the last question, it reads, what is the difference between formal and informal conversation? Now then again, in this type of, you have to pick up the word formal and you have to pick out the word informal. The point of separation between the formal talks is that we have to abide certain codes of conduct. Obviously you're in a formal setting, you're having conversation with your colleagues, your boss, your subordinates. You cannot make private conversations, right? So they are sans thus. Sans means without, in the absence of. Obviously I will not be sharing something happened at my home with my boss, right? That's not a formal conversation. Rigidity is there. Obviously you cannot have the flexibility or the independency of talking about anything when it comes to sharing information. So this is the point for the formal conversation. Whereas on the other hand, the informal conversation, you have no such restrictions or boundaries. You can talk about anything, and the people involved, they are open and they share anything and everything that they like. The point is that whenever a question is given to you in the follow-ups, try to identify your answer. If you're saying yes, if you're saying no, and always justify it. If just in case justification seems a bit tacky for you, add something extra. Don't add just a line as your answer and end it there. Either extend the line with justifications or give the person extra information. Make your answer crisp, add a lot of information, and make your speaking interesting and free of errors. I hope this video might have helped you.